We're live.
Damn, that was immediate.
That was very fast indeed.
Yep.
He was ready. He was ready.
I was ready.
Trying to get the hell out the door.
Yep. I made us late, so I'm the one getting everything together just as much as I can.
Right, yeah, you were at the
Look
museum.
at you. I'm usually the one that's making us late, so you're much more organized than I am.
Yeah.
You said you were at the museum because it's free night. What was the exhibit? What's the big thing right now?
So my favorite thing currently was they have a whole bunch of medieval weaponry and uniforms and stuff, like knight armor and samurai armor and up to World War I and II uniforms and stuff like that and weaponry. So I think it's just called Warriors or something. It's a pretty standard sounding exhibit, but I like that sort of thing, so I think that's really cool. The current
they
one
have from Totally Accurate Battle Simulator, do they have the snake bow and arrow where you shoot a snake at your enemy?
No, unfortunately they don't.
This exhibit sucks. Why'd you go?
Yeah, exactly. And the other big one is there's a printmaker named Sybil Andrews who did a bunch of prints for commercial stuff and some artistic stuff as well. Had an exhibit going on, so we went to go see her stuff as well, which was cool. And then the other stuff there is they have an exhibit with a bunch of minerals and gemstones and stuff, and I like that sort of crap, so it was good.
What about the weapon where it's one dude and he has a wheelbarrow and there's another dude in the wheelbarrow with a sword and they just keep running into crowds of enemies, and that's the weapon?
A dude in a wheelbarrow is the weapon?
Yeah. Have you guys seen Tabs?
No.
Totally Accurate Battle Simulator. It's a game that's coming out.
I've heard the name.
It's in early access right now. You got to look some of these things up.
Okay.
They're hilarious. I think it's coming to Game Pass, so I cannot wait to get my hands on that. But some of the weapons, it's kind of an RTS. You kind of spawn units. They'll set you up with here's what you have to fight, and it could be 15 pikemen or something like that, right? And it's how are you going to take that on? And it's well, I'm going to put 5 wheelbarrow guys, and they're just going to crash into it, and then it's all ragdoll and stuff. Tabs is a funny looking game.
So this is released on April 1st of this year.
It did come out
on Steam in early access, so not fully.
Yeah, right.
It's getting a 10 out of 10 rating on Steam. It has a perfect rating.
There you go.
Yeah, overwhelmingly positive. Yo, people love this thing. Okay, I'm gonna take a look.
You gotta watch some videos, man.
Yeah, I'll take a look into this for sure. Especially because it's $15 American, so $17.50 for us. Yeah, I'll look into this for sure.
Think of it if it was Human Fall Flat, but they were fighting each other. So it's kind of like Gang Beasts, I guess.
Okay, sure.
But more of an RTS.
Yeah, you've piqued my interest with that description. I like it.
Happy to help. There's a sale for you, Tabs. I expect my check in the mail.
Yep.
All right. Well, hey, Paul, you did something this week. That's great. Glad to hear it.
Yes.
John, where have you been?
I was in the States. I went to my brother-in-law's place in Virginia.
Okay, yeah, we could not remember where in the States you were going. Actually, Paul, did you say Virginia?
No, I thought it was Massachusetts for some reason.
Okay, and I thought it was Seattle.
Yeah,
so
no.
Who is closer?
Where did Paul say again? Massachusetts?
Yeah.
Well, that's way closer then.
You know, across the country or the next state over.
I was gonna say. Yeah, exactly.
I could not tell you where Massachusetts is.
It's West Coast, or it's East Coast rather.
Okay. For Thanksgiving, right?
Yeah.
How was the Thanksgiving dinner?
It was good. Mother-in-law was there, brother-in-law and their family. So had a good time. It was so warm there. We went out and boat. We went out and fished.
I saw that. Yeah.
It was weird. Because we had just come from
I'm glad you had a warm Thanksgiving.
A bunch of snow dumps during that.
Yeah.
was like -10 here, and then there it was like +14. Like it was ridiculous. And then like the day after we went boating, like it dropped down to like, oh, a cold snap hit. It's like, oh, it's only like 7 degrees now Celsius. I'm just like, oh, that's some cold snap.
Did you catch a fish?
No fish caught.
Have you ever?
But
caught
I got
a
to
fish?
drive the boat, which was cool.
Have you ever
got
caught a
to-
fish?
Yeah, back when I was a kid, Dad taught me how to fish.
I don't think I've ever caught a fish. I don't know if I've even gone like real fishing.
It's you got to have the right mindset for it.
Yeah,
It's not my kind of thing.
I would. Paul, where are you on the fishing spectrum?
The fishing spectrum. I've been
Yeah.
fishing. I don't love it, so I've never gone again.
Okay. Have either of you caught a fish with your hands?
I'm not a bear, so no.
Okay. Paul?
I had a fish and I have picked it up before to like
God.
move it into like another thing.
Okay. With like a net or with your bare hands?
I mean both. When I couldn't find the net, I just used my hand with a little bit of water and just kind of dumped it into like a jar or whatever while I cleaned the bowl out.
Okay. Right on.
So yes, but not in the way that you meant it, is the answer.
Cool. What have I been up to? Nothing. I'm driving back down to LA tomorrow. I'm so tired of this drive.
Yeah. What are you going for?
Yeah. This is Quidditch stuff.
Gotcha.
Yeah, got a tournament. Apparently it's supposed to pour rain on us, so can't wait.
Awesome.
Yeah, that'll be a lot of fun. I saw Knives Out. That movie is awesome.
Yeah.
I've been hearing excellent things about that. I really want to go see that.
Yep. Me too.
It is super fun. Daniel Craig is just awesome with his weird like Southern accent that he's super leaning into. It's a very good time. I highly recommend seeing Knives Out.
Cool.
But yeah, other than that, nothing really special going on with me this week. So let's go right into the podcast. This is the Top Down Perspective for December 5th, and I'm Sean Booker.
I'm Paul Fleck.
I'm John Wheeler.
Let's start with you, John. You've been gone. What have you been playing?
Sure. So, while do you want me to talk about what I played while I was there with my nephews, or do you want me to just only talk about stuff that I played on my own time? Because I played some interesting thing. Yeah, you know what? I'll do both.
Talk whatever you want, man. This is your
I've
time.
obviously played some more Pokemon Sword. Been playing that a bunch. Taking a break the past week or so from it because I was going pretty hard on it.
Where are you in Pokemon Sword?
I'm only at badge 4, but I've caught like 120, 130 Pokemon. So I've mainly been going through areas, getting as many as I can, and then moving on.
Yeah, that's about what I do. I'm at the I'm basically at the end. I'm doing the like I'm about to battle the champion.
Okay.
This story just kind of sucks. There's like no story.
Apparently there's some decent stuff post game because Reese was really into it. She's already beaten the game.
I'm looking forward to that. Leading up to it, it was like I know it's supposed to be a kid's game, but it's like there's just like nothing going on. Like normally with your Pokemon, you have like, and the evil villains, they have a plot going throughout the whole thing. The evil team, they're not even really evil. They're just like Team Yell's just loud. They have no like goal in mind. They're not trying to take over the world. They're not trying to interfere with anything. They're just there. Like there's like no plot to this game. So I don't know. I think it's a weaker Pokemon in my opinion.
I mean, I've been hearing back and forth things. I'm still enjoying it, maybe just because it's so like casual. I think that's what I kind of enjoy about it, and I like the raid system's also been a little fun to do.
Sure. Keep in mind, I'm also saying this after putting like 22 hours into it, and I plan to play more. I'm just saying I think it's a weaker Pokemon in general.
Yeah, I'm still enjoying it though. While I was there, I played a couple games with my nephew. He needed my help to beat Luigi's Mansion 3, so I, without having done the story mode, fought the final boss with him. So,
all right, no spoilers.
No spoilers. It's harder than I expected.
Okay.
It it was really awkward what they wanted to do, and the timing windows for what they wanted you to do were very strict.
Right, I've heard it's just kind of annoying because Luigi moves really slow and the controls aren't great.
Mm.
Is that what you encountered with the timing windows? Is that what you're
It
saying?
wasn't really that he was slow. It's that like you have to aim basically,
Yeah.
and like 3D aim, and that doesn't work as well in that system.
Yeah, because it's tank controls,
Yeah.
which is always weird.
So
Or
it's
did you
just
have it
really
set to gyro controls?
No, I had it on stick controls.
Yeah.
So it was a bit awkward to get used to. But like I also was playing the final boss without having done anything else. So like I didn't know you could jump.
Oh yeah, yeah. And did you know that at least like a lot of the stuff's up on the triggers to do? And
Yeah,
not,
I was surprised about that. Like I kind of dig the control scheme once I got used to it, but I was also like, man, I really wish I had played the rest of the game so I know what to do here.
Sure. I'm assuming you have it, right?
Yeah, I do. Okay. I had
Okay.
actually planned to play it on the trip, but then never got around to it basically. Or no, that was the previous trip. On the TRG trip I went. And then I just played more Picross because I was trying to get through that. Which I also have been playing this now. I'm still trying to beat S3. I took a break. I took months of breaks away from Picross, and then I'm like, all right, now I'm going to try to finally finish this so it's done. Since I'm now like 2 Picross games behind now. And
Plus all the offshoot things.
Yeah, it's just there's too much Picross right now. It's just
There's
it's
so
hard.
much.
I still have another fucking like 140 puzzles left to do. I'm just like, oh god, really?
Yep.
But when I wasn't doing that, I was also playing Blaster Master Zero 2, which I got in the mood for that because it just came out on Steam recently, so I was playing the Switch one. And
okay.
Yeah, I know. It reminded me that I had it.
Okay,
basically.
all right, sure.
Yeah.
Yep.
I really like that game. That game is good. I love Blaster Master Zero. I think it's a really good remake of the original Blaster Master, and this is more of that with like some tweaks to make the gameplay better. I don't want to say more interesting story. I want to say like a different story, and I don't know. I've been kind of digging it.
Right
cool.
on.
It's real good if you want like just
on
a
3DS.
Nice... No.
Oh, what am I thinking of?
I'm not sure. You're thinking Gunvolt, maybe?
Maybe I'm thinking Gunvolt.
Man.
But yeah, no, Blaster
We'll never
Master
know.
0 and 02 are Switch and Steam. I think that's it.
02 is firmly on my pile of shame. I can't see having time to get to it, and it looks great.
Have you played through 01?
I haven't finished 01. I don't know how far I am in it. I'd probably have to restart at this point because I don't remember a damn thing in it.
You're just locking it into the pile of shame.
I'm just locking it in, dude, because I have other big games in that pile of shame.
It. I don't know how long 02 is, but apparently my 01 file is like 5 or 6 hours long, so it's not terrible.
Oh,
that was me taking my time.
Yeah, come on, Paul.
Wow.
Don't you got like 5 or 6 hours just to spare? Just
No.
in your pocket right there?
No, I don't. I legitimately don't.
That's true.
It looks great though.
Oh yeah, no, like I said, I really recommend it. And I think that's a this year release. I know the Steam one obviously is, but I think the actual game itself was this year too.
I think so, yeah.
I mean, it would have to be if it's in his pile of shame list, right?
True.
So I would assume so.
Let's find out. Wiki, what do you got for me?
This is a good segment to remind you that our community game of the year poll or survey and poll, I guess, is live. So if you're listening to this, check our Twitter for a link and go vote on what your favorite and least favorite games of the year are, and we tally them all up and we talk about them on our Game of the Year show. If you're a Patreon subscriber, there's an exclusive poll for you to vote on what your favorite Patreon game was that we'll also bring up when we pick our favorite Patreon game at the Game of the Year show.
Yep.
Ooh. Yeah, March 2019.
Yeah, it counts for this year then. Ah, fuck it. I'll try to get to it at some point. It's probably
try it. It's fun. It's fun.
Yeah.
It's simple and fun.
Yeah.
It's like a nice chill Metroidvania.
Because I mean,
Stop,
you can
stop
see
playing all your not fun games.
you
Play
can
a
see
fun
the
game.
other stuff I've been playing. Something chill would actually be kind of nice.
That is fair. Looking at
yeah.
that list, it's like, ooh.
I don't know.
ooh,
One of
alright.
those games
It's kind of
is
chill.
very chill.
Well,
Like, the whole point is it's chill.
yeah.
It's sometimes
Yeah.
chill.
That's
Uh-huh.
Mario Maker, right? That's
Yeah,
Mario Maker.
so Sekiro.
it's Mario
Sekiro's a
Maker.
chill game.
Oh my god. Yeah.
Yeah. Other than that, I played Roblox.
All right.
Mm.
Nice.
So my nephew-in-law, he is really into Roblox right now because he watches a lot of YouTubers.
Sure.
And
Classic. That's classic 8-year-old.
I mean, that's
Yeah.
classic. Most people on the internet, really.
Sure.
but he's playing like all these weird like adult rated games
Oh,
or like
no.
mature
Man.
games.
Whoa.
So like we were playing like knockoff like Five Nights at Freddy's games called Bear.
Awesome.
And this was an
It's called-
adult-rated
it's just called
game
Bear.
called Bear?
It's just called Bear. It's a game mode in Roblox called Bear. You were a bunch
Oh.
of survivors running around trying to escape from Bear, which is this stuffed teddy bear JPEG that's dancing back and forth and chasing people. And it looks really goofy and like super silly. I thought it was hilarious. And then the bear got near my nephew, and then suddenly it started like screaming like he is near on screen, and like scratch marks and everything were appearing on screen. I'm like, holy crap, what is happening here?
This is like a mod?
I'm
that
looking
someone
at
made?
Bear right
So
now.
Roblox, you make your own games in it basically.
Right,
So,
okay.
Yeah.
And
So that's what.
All right.
Yeah, so that's what someone did. The picture of Bear is also amazing. I'll go find that here in a minute because someone sent it to me during a stream.
Why is that? You said these were adult rated?
13 plus?
Okay. So this is way too old for him, man. He's
Yeah.
8? No way. What are you doing?
Yo, this is
You're
creepy
supposed
as
to be the
fuck. This is
responsible
some
adult.
this is some Slender shit I'm looking at right here. This
Yeah, no,
dude's
that's
run-
exactly what it is. That's exactly what it
Jesus.
is.
All right.
And he was
Yo,
just he
hook
was
me up
just
with a link,
watching
guys.
it like crazy. It was insane.
I'm watching
Here, I'll put this
my
in.
favorite YouTuber that I just learned
Alright.
about.
That's a
There,
reaction shot
that's-
right there. Okay.
There's the dancing
Ugh.
image of Bear. I guess that's
It's
a
like-
still image, but
It
yeah.
looks like if you gave your dog like a stuffed bear, and then
Yeah.
it's now their bear.
Yeah,
But
that's
they like
exactly what it
ripped it
looks
up,
like.
they like stretched it out,
Yeah, and
Like,
then you put a
I'm looking
knot
at
in
this
it
thing,
so they could bite it.
and-
yeah.
and I just know this thing's damp. Like you're gonna pick
Gross.
this up and be like,
Yeah.
"Why? I don't want to touch this. I don't want to play tug of war with you." No,
Totally.
this thing feels awful. I'm gonna have to wash my hand.
There, I gave you the dancing gif of him.
What is this? Apparently, this has something to do with Cuphead. That's what this guy who looks like he's screaming at me. His YouTube video says.
I don't know. I
I
have the
don't-
sound off.
I have no idea.
I didn't watch the video. I'm just looking at this thumbnail that definitely makes me want to click it.
Uh-huh. It's a good thumbnail.
New Cuphead Bear is terrifying. By
Yeah, but like, he kept playing like all these weird like like Five Nights at Freddy's or Slenderman knockoff games. Like he played one where a bunch of your characters were Combine soldiers and you had to play as this invisible monster that was trying to kill all the other ones, all the other players.
Okay.
It was
Combine,
but
like Half-Life.
yeah, like that was the voice clips
Does
they
he
were
actually
using.
even know Half-Life?
No, he's 8 years old.
Okay, I mean he could have played. I mean he could have played some Half-Life. I don't know this kid. But I'm
So
just wondering
I was
if-
watching. I'm like, man, this seems. I'm surprised your parents are letting you play this. And then it had a bunch of random victory songs in that mode, and one of them was Eminem's "Without Me," and I was like, oh,
That's
Weird.
pretty
you
weird.
really don't pay attention to what you play. Ooh,
So you did the responsible adult thing and you smashed his computer.
no, I did the responsible thing and didn't narc on him, so I'm
Okay.
the cool
Yeah.
uncle.
Yeah,
Yep.
no, that's true. Be the cool uncle. Install some more super secret mods.
It's like the funny thing was at one point he was playing that bear game, and then he was like, his brother came in and is like, "Do you want to go jump in a pile of leaves?" So he said, "Yeah, I'm gonna go jump in a pile of leaves. Uncle Jonathan, you keep playing bear for me. Make sure I don't die."
And
So
you were
I
like,
had to play.
yes,
I had to
give me
play
that
bear.
player one controller. Now I'm gonna win
Hell
this.
yeah! Oh no, the best part was like when he left, I became bear. So I was just running around being bear. It was great.
Okay. I'm
And the
assuming
the
this
best part
plays
is-
like the is it the Friday the 13th game? What's the one that has
Dead
a
by
bunch of
Daylight?
enemies in it? A bunch of like horror people in it.
You're thinking Dead by Daylight.
Yeah, is it playing like that? Like it's kind of like a co-op thing?
Yeah, so there's like, let's say 8 people running around. There didn't seem like there was really a cap. and either you're the only bear or there were multiple bears, and you run around like trying to kill them off. They have to survive for, I think it was 5 minutes, but there are 4 puzzles on the map that they can clear, and if they clear those, time gets taken off the clock. So I think like maybe a minute per puzzle. But obviously, as a monster, you can just camp around the puzzles and make sure that if anyone tries to break it, they die. But you have to kill them all before time runs out, otherwise the survivors win. Also, Sean, if you're talking, I can't hear you.
Thank you. I was about to say, yeah, there's got to be like a battle royale mode, right?
No, not in the one I played, but I mean, I'm sure there's some bear battle royale out there.
Yeah, well, I don't even mean like specific bear, just like in like Roblox. I'd assume this kid's playing some kind of battle royale.
He played like some GTA cops and robbers style game.
Like, okay, in Roblox though, he's not playing GTA 5 online.
In Roblox, yeah.
All right.
Like he had to break out of jail and then go commit crimes, and then he could be the cops and arrest the people who were breaking out if he wanted. And then there was like a UFO he could steal from Area 51. And there was all like this Roblox currency you could use to buy things in the game. And then you could use real money to buy the Roblox currency. It was
nice. So you helped your nephew
very much
get his parents' credit card.
That was the next step, obviously. That was the next logical step.
All right. Kids. I was going to say teens, but it's not a teen. Kids.
No.
So now you got tons of content plans, right?
Yeah, there you go. I'm gonna be a Roblox streamer from here on out. This
nice.
Is my new Bear is my new brand.
Yeah. Well, you can follow this guy's thumbnail example
and look very scared.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's all I've been playing.
All right. Paul.
Okay, I'm doing the
you got
roundup.
A lot to talk about.
It's that time of year. I finished off Jedi Fallen Order. It's done.
No spoilers.
That ending is fucking amazing.
I keep hearing that, no spoilers. And I also heard that if you were watching like some Thanksgiving football game,
they spoiled it.
They spoiled it
in
their ad.
Amazing.
So I haven't seen that. So no spoilers. I don't want to know. I don't want to even know.
It's just a thing.
I don't even want to know. I don't even want to know who's under the Darth Vader helmet. I've made it this far.
Okay, fair enough. Man, that's a good ending to an otherwise good game, but it felt like it was a little long in the teeth a little bit by the end. I was ready to be done. Yeah. I started Death Stranding. I still can't explain what that game is. I'm a few hours in. Don't know. Have no idea.
What chapter are you in?
I finished the prologue in chapter 1, so I guess I just started chapter 2.
Okay, so you haven't gone on like the boat, right?
No.
Okay, so
I'll say that I carried a corpse. I'll say.
Okay.
That was weird.
Yeah, that was weird. It's a weird one.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you're kind of in like what the game is. Like that's the gameplay.
Sure, yeah. But I don't understand like what's going on in this world at all. So
oh yeah, I don't.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I could tell you some of it, but I don't even know.
Yeah,
I don't know. So I gotta ask, are you having fun?
I don't know because the thing is that it's.
How do I know if I'm satisfied? What was that from?
It's
again?
like,
do you remember that?
No, I don't.
What was that? That was like a Twitter thread. Oh, it was in relation to her story. When someone was like, "How do you know when you're done?" Well, and then the creator was like, "Well, you're done when you're satisfied." And then the person's response was, "How do I know when I'm satisfied?"
Yeah. It is weirdly very zen playing it. Like it's pretty chill.
Yeah.
I have been streaming it, so I'm worried that there's a lot of copyright music playing all the time. Like all the time. But
it's kind of cool, right? Where like when the music
it's very cool, but then it's like, oh, maybe I should just play this on my own time because this is all gonna get muted anyway. So like whatever.
Sure.
Yeah, that music's good. It's a lot of just walking. And
that's it. That's the game.
And it's
eventually you get like a motorcycle.
It's pretty calm. Sometimes you fall and then you have to pick your boxes back up, and that's okay. That's fine.
That's just life, man.
That's just life. It's really hard. This is the type of game that, like, I think people that care about games and the industry need to try or play, but I don't think I would recommend it to people because I don't know, like, what their preference would be. This is very slow. It's extraordinarily slow, but it's objectively good. Like, everything in it works properly so far.
It's pretty. I think it's a really pretty game.
It's really hard to explain this fucking thing, though. Like, yeah.
Have you've done some like BT stuff?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, so I just bring that up because it's not always chill. Like the BT stuff can be pretty harrowing.
It's pretty creepy. Yep.
Yeah.
You know how every now and then we get the question of what video game world would you want to like live in? It's not this one. This is a terrible fucking world.
Don't live in this world. This
fucking
world is
terrible.
Messed up.
Yep.
Holy
it's
smokes,
real bad.
Yeah. There's nothing good. Nothing good is in this world. There is nothing happy is in this world.
Nope.
Anyway, you have to get to chapter 3. I am demanding that if you plan to stop, you at least play a little bit of chapter 3.
Fair enough. Yeah, that's fine. That it's gonna be a slow burn. This is a slow burn game. I can feel it. That this is not a game I finish in a weekend. This is gonna be a few weeks, I think, of picking away at it.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think like what were some of like the really cool moments that I've passed by. Like, have you've interacted with other players' like devices?
I interacted with like the tutorial of that. Like, obviously, when you're carrying the corpse, it shows you like what that stuff is by like one of the characters leaving stuff for you in the world, and then that's a cool idea for sure.
Yeah, like you'll just be like, I could really use a ladder. Oh, of course, someone else needed a ladder too. Perfect.
And I'm with you. The waypoint system in any game that ever has waypoints, this is a game changer for the whole industry. This
you
is
can like the way you can like almost draw it.
It's a new standard.
So good
for sure.
Oh, it's so good. Holy smokes, is it ever good?
Yep. The best way I can explain it for anybody who's used an Adobe product, it's like the magnetic lasso or tool or any of those where like you click and then like bring it to a point, then click again and bring it to another point, only on a mini map that like translates to in-game overlay so you can see which way you want it to like go.
Yeah.
Basically.
I wish you could see depth and height on that map.
Yeah, that map is weirdly not very good in that way because it's very hard to see like which way you just are taking a guess. This way looks like it might be fine. And I haven't run into any issue yet, but I know I'm going to. I know for a fact.
Like at some point it's going to be like, oh, that's on the top of like a mountain.
Right.
Oh my God, how do I get up here? And you're going to have like 16 boxes piled up behind you where the stack of your boxes is twice the size of Sam. And it's like, I can't climb. I'll just fall over.
Yeah.
So I wish you could see the height. I don't even think that would like take away, like it would just allow me to like plot out my journey better. And I think that would be ideal.
Sure.
I can't remember if it's in chapter 2. I think it is. You eventually start seeing on the map like other people's trails that have been used.
Oh, okay.
Which is kind of cool because you can be like, oh, I'm just gonna follow that. That's probably the way that worked before and stuff like that. And then in chapter 3, it's even more evident because everyone just built a road for you, and it's like, oh, thanks. I'm gonna drive my bike up this mountain.
Yeah. Man, what a weird game. What a weird thing.
Wait until you get the exoskeleton legs and you can like turn corners without falling over.
Yeah, that's gonna be nice because let's just say I'm holding R2 and L2 a lot currently.
Yeah, I don't do that anymore.
That's pretty nice.
It's like game changer. Holy smokes, right?
That sounds really good. What else did I do? I peed to make a mushroom grow, and then that was a thing that you can do.
Yep.
I guess. There's so many systems in that game, like just system upon system of just stuff. And yeah, if it's not a fun game for you, I don't think anybody can disagree that it's an interesting technical display of what a madman can create with enough time and money.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think the game is doing anything like technically kind of interesting. Like it is a walking simulator.
Sure, yeah.
Like I'm not saying there's like like the Nemesis system was something new when Shadow of Mordor came out. Like this thing doesn't have anything kind of crazy going on. I guess the
Right.
interactivity is kind of unique. But
Yeah.
even some other games have done that in some capacity as well. But I do think it is just like it's like a walking simulator on a scale that no one's ever seen.
For sure. Like, if you said to me, walking simulator made by Hideo Kojima, like, I would probably envision this game without seeing anything about it. It's exactly like what you would probably expect in that way. And that story is fucking batshit insane that I want to know more about, but at the same time, I'm not drawn into this world a whole lot, really, either. So it's weird. Like, it's not a world I want to get lost in, but it's a world I'm enjoying seeing, like, what the fuck's going on in it. It's hard to explain.
Yeah, it's funny having someone that's kind of like living with you and them seeing only snippets of it and being like, oh, what's going on with that guy? And then you kind of say like, oh, well, his job is this and he has to do this, and it's like, what on earth are you talking about? What?
Yeah.
Why is there a baby in that jar?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a weird game.
Yep. Daddy Mads is fucking weird. Yeah, I don't know.
I still don't know what's going on with that.
Yeah. Yeah, one of those things that if you have the ability to, somebody, like, you should try it at least a little bit. I think this one you could watch. I think you could find, like, somebody and just sit down and watch if they're, like, playing a long session of it. I think you'd be fine. But
I think you'd get bored of it, though.
Yeah, that's the other thing. I think you'd get bored pretty quick, honestly.
Because, like, it's not like you're getting, like, narrative feedback at all times. Sometimes it's like, no, I'm just going to walk over this mountain.
Yeah.
It's slower than I probably have to because I don't want to drop my box. I'm going to hold L2 and R2 and slowly walk over this mountain. And it's going to rain on me, and that's going to kind of suck. And sometimes I'm going to have to crawl because there's ghosts around. And then I have to rock the controller because BB's upset.
Those ghosts suck. Holy shit.
Have you had to do that yet? Where BB's upset and you have to, like, lullaby it?
Yeah, but I didn't get it. So instead I got attacked and I went through hell that I can't, like, explain without spoilery talk. So
sure. Yep.
Let's just say a weird fish thing at some point chased me. Yeah. Yep. It was terrible. So on the other side of that, I've been playing games that make me want to die. And die in them, I do a lot. So a friend of mine that I played through Gears of War 4 with, we decided to take a break from Gears. We were going to do Gears 5, but then we wanted something different. So we're playing Remnant now from the Ashes.
I plan to play that soon. Games they're going to stop coming out soon, right? And then I'll have time for Remnant.
I mean, for me, December's pretty open. So January's not, though, unfortunately.
Okay.
So yeah, Remnant, I'm not too far in it because I'm only playing it with him. And he hasn't been available for many days this week. We only had one about 3-4 hour session. And it's pretty much what you would expect when I say, like, a Souls game with guns, essentially. Pretty difficult, some bullshit parts, but it's a third-person action adventure RPG with guns as, like, the main weapon. You can do melee as well, but the melee isn't as good. The shooting's fun, so yeah, it's been fun. But it made me really want to jump into Sekiro finally, and I did. And that is the hardest game I've played in a long time. That game is fucking ridiculous. Holy shit, it has been absolutely destroying me, and I can't stop thinking about it. I want to play it right now.
I was gonna say, that's a good thing, right?
Yeah, it's like
this is the only way you can feel.
Yeah, it's been a while since a Souls game felt
the game made you feel anything.
Yeah, since a game made me feel anything. Exactly. So it plays for anybody who, like, has played these games, and I think I'm the only person who, like, likes these types of games and hasn't played this until now. But it plays a lot like Bloodborne, where aggressiveness is really the key. But unlike Bloodborne, it doesn't have the healing thing where visceral attacks like heal you, or like you have a moment of time after you take a hit where you can like regain some of your health by doing attacks. You just kind of die. And the whole point is because the Shadows Die Twice part is you can like resurrect after dying once if you have like the resurrection ability up, which usually you do at least once. So they just kind of expect you to abuse that. But it has the same problem I have with Bloodborne of so many enemies have a one-shot kill or two-shot kill. They just have too much damage. And that's why I didn't like Bloodborne either, because I think those are cheap. It's like you're doing good, and then all of a sudden you're dead because you fucked up once. And that I don't like. That being said, I'm still addicted to overcoming it, so I guess it's not like bugging me too much. The game,
it's still interesting to you in the long run.
It's still interesting in the long run. I think it's because the combat feels really nice and fluid, and is all based around like countering attacks rather than just like going batshit insane and then dodging at the last moment. It's all about like seeing an opening and then doing the proper counter, or doing a block at the right time to like block the attack and then counter attack, and it's like really, really cool in that way. Where like I saw people comparing it at first to Nioh. Nioh is very much more like you're playing a samurai, so you have different stances and like different combos and stuff, and that's kind of what made that game good. This, you're playing like a ninja, a shinobi, so you're definitely more like less of a combat like dude. You're more about like taking dudes down, assassinating them to like put things in your odds, using like shitty tactics. Like you have Ash in this, which is literally pocket sand that you throw at them to like stun them for a second. Yeah, like you
better say shasha every time you use
it. Yeah. Like, yeah, it's all about counterattacking when they're open and breaking their posture and sort of thing. That's kind of the idea. You're not taking their health down, you're taking down their like stance and their posture and their stamina, so that like they leave themselves open so you can get a death blow on them and kill them instantly. And yeah, it's cool. It's a very cool game, but holy shit. It is so fucking hard. It is ridiculous. And I like thought like, man, maybe I just like really suck at these. So I started watching, now that I've been playing it for a few hours and like got somewhere in it, I started watching videos of people that I like to watch videos from that played this back a long time ago. And yeah, they're struggling too in those videos. And like, it's just one of those games that you learn how to do it and then you're fine. So apparently it has not very good replayability because of that, because it's one of those things that once you master it, you can go through it really, really quickly. But I like that sort of thing. I don't like just like dying over and over. I like being able to like, because it's a game where you're not leveling up your strength or your stamina a lot. You're leveling up like you as a human being, being able to like know the timings and like know what to do in every situation.
But that's a lot more fair though, isn't it?
It is. I just don't like one-hit kills ever in any video game ever. I hate it. And this game has that a few times, and it's such fucking bullshit. I guess it's not technically a one-hit kill because Shadows Die Twice, so you can just resurrect, but fuck you. They just do it again. So whatever. Yeah, I'm having a lot of fun with it, and I can't wait to play more of it. But the big thing for me is Mario Maker 2 had a giant update this week that completely changed the game.
Yeah, that was out of nowhere.
Yeah. So I was going to say, did Sean pull this for news? Of course he did. So Mario Maker version 2.0 came out technically today, but like it was live last night as well, because I think they meant today as in Japan time.
Yeah, because the video I saw was Europe. So
gotcha. Okay. So yeah, it's been live for at least 24 hours now, roughly. Probably a little bit more actually. And the big thing is they added Link. They added the Master Sword power-up for Mario into the game, where you turn into Link from The Legend of Zelda, and you have a sword, a shield, bombs, and bow and arrow at your disposal with some like different move sets, like the charge attack and like the down thrust and stuff like that at your disposal. It's like in every way, it's a huge game changer. Literally,
It's really cool.
It's super cool for sure. They added some other stuff that some of it doesn't even like isn't even worth talking about. Like Pokey's in it. Who gives a shit? Pokey should have been in it from the get-go.
Unfortunately, that's something I'm gonna get a lot of flack about.
Yeah, I think John
So
gives a huge shit about Pokey.
Well, I
got a video I can show you.
More so my community does.
Right. Oh, right. Yeah.
So I'm doing Mario Maker 2 tomorrow for afternoon stream, and likely that is going to be most of what I'm playing is just Pokey related stages.
Yeah, you should blacklist that phrase to ban everybody who says it in chat. That'd be so good.
You should make a tax if they say it, they have to like cheer you.
Oh, okay, that would be nice, but there's no way I can enforce that.
Yeah.
Just say like, just make it the honor system. Say that right up front.
Yes. If there's anything the internet's known for, it's honor.
Yeah. Maybe we should talk about like what they added specifically in news. I'll just say that the thing I was doing today is I'm trying to build a
legend. Talk about it now. I just put it there in case I didn't know you had been playing it, or what really? Did you finish the stage you were making?
Oh fuck no! It takes me a long time to make a stage.
Did you had a Bowser in there? Are you going to keep it in there?
Not at the very beginning. I just wanted to test how. So I spent a lot of time today just testing how the Master Sword power up and you playing as Link affects like different things. One of the coolest things is if there is a Shelmet on the ground, you can hit it with your sword to bounce it up for enough time to go under it to like put it on your head. So that was cool. I want to utilize that at some point. The charge seems a little bit useless, except you can charge over like blocks and springs to like get some extra height and whatever.
Can Link pick things up?
Link cannot pick things up. No.
Is it only Super Mario Bros.
Mario
1
engine?
It's just one
engine.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. What are
because they could have done if they had done like World, they could have had like Link to the Past, Link.
Yep.
Like they have all these assets. That would have been cool.
They probably couldn't work.
They technically already had the assets in Mario Maker 1 with all those amiibo costumes. They just added like functionality with everything else. Like
yeah,
the fire flower is like the rod now or something, or the bow or something like that. So I haven't played around with it. I've just seen pictures, so I'm just asking.
I don't know. I haven't done any creating stuff. I played one stage and it was bad, but it had Link in it.
Yeah.
So it was good.
Yeah. I'm excited for adventure levels and hopefully some good ones, but that I don't know. I hope some people actually try to make some decent levels with the Master Sword power up, but I know that hope might be squashed.
It'll happen eventually. It's just going to take a little bit.
It's going to take a bit, yeah. There's going to be a lot of garbage this weekend and probably for the next couple weeks, and then it'll probably even out a little bit. I mean,
just keep an eye on the subreddit, right?
Honestly,
That'll
yeah.
have, like, the best stuff.
And like people that I trust on Twitter, like this is kind of the reason why I follow people that play a lot of Mario Maker is because they usually like share levels that are good, since it's their job to play through everything and they play through a lot of shit. So when they share stuff, I usually check those out.
They added the ninja stuff.
They added the ninja speedruns. Yep.
I only saw one level. Is there only the one?
I haven't bothered playing with it.
They said weekly they're updating it.
Okay, there's only one stage at the moment.
Yeah.
I don't even remember how fast I did it. But that's there. Yeah, it basically looks like Super Meat Boy, where there's a whole bunch of ninjas, which are ghosts of other people. I kind of wish that was just on like all the time.
Yeah.
Because that would just be kind of fun to like play through other stages with that.
Yeah.
And I mean, it could like give away for like the puzzle stages, but just turn it off if you want.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Or just like don't allow people to use it if you don't want them to figure out the answer or whatever.
Yeah. I like that. I like the idea of that energy thing. I'll check it out. Like I said, we could just talk about this more in news if you want, because I literally just jumped in. I want to see the Link stuff. That's what I care about. So I spent a bunch of time with that, and then I started making a level, and it's going to be easy to like play or whatnot because I just kind of want to make a Link centric like adventure level, and I'm excited
Put a
to
Bowser
do
in it.
Yeah, if you put bosses in, the boss music changes to Zelda music.
Yeah,
That'd be cool if Bowser changed into Ganondorf.
it seems like there's a bunch of different music too. The Ghost House music was the Legend of Zelda 1 dungeon. The castle music was different. I can't remember off the top of my head what it was, but yeah, it seems like there's a few different tracks in there, but I'm going to assume there's nothing like crazy for the overworld stuff. Probably just some of the big palette changes and stuff like that. Yeah, no, it's cool. That's all I've been playing.
All right, I've been playing a few things. Specifically, I've been playing some Need for Speed Heat since I have a month of EA access that I need to make sure I cancel soon.
Yep.
Don't forget.
I'm not really into it.
Okay.
I'm not, I don't, in no way do I think it's bad. I'm just pretty like lukewarm on it. You played a bit, right, Paul?
I haven't. I updated it last night and I was going to play it, but then I decided to go to bed.
Okay. It starts off with this like cutscene that's like super hardcore. Like the city has this like commissioner police officer who's like, there are no racers in this town. We mean it. And they like run you off the road, and he's literally ready to like shoot you. Like he's like, what do you like? The like good cop comes in and like, what are you doing? There's cameras. And he like goes and turns the cameras off, and he's like, finish it. Let's do this. And it's like, what? Yeah, they want to just like kill this. Like they're like, no racers. We got to send a message. We're gonna kill this guy right now because he was street racing. And the person's like, no, you need like a messenger. Send him as like a messenger, and then they won't do it.
What?
So they let the guy go, and he's like, I'm out of here. And then you get to make a character, and you play a different character.
Wait, what?
What's really weird though?
Hold up. Wait, the person doesn't even. That's not even you.
No, I don't know So there's your character, and then you have like someone who's connected to the scene who you'd like chat with on the phone. I think it's her brother, if I remember correctly.
Okay.
So yeah. Anyway, so you make your character. Your character, it's like fully voice acted, which is kind of nice. But there's a whole day-night system, and that's the whole point of the game is you do stuff during the day to earn, like, I think you earn money. At night, you earn rep, and then the more rep you have gives you different things you can purchase with the money, because they only want to sell the good stuff to like the really like good reputation drivers. So it kind of makes sense.
Uh-huh.
But what's weird is, so at night, that's when the cops are out. Anything you do, if you go near a cop, they're going to start a pursuit. Okay. Even like mid-race, the cops can get in on that, and they're chasing you. And then once you finish the race, you gotta escape the cops.
What if you drive the speed limit cautiously? Will they still pursue? Like, are they always, or do you have to do something illegal?
You know, I don't know, because who drives the speed limit in a Need for Speed game? I want to say they won't. So I think if it's out of the blue, like they haven't been searching for you or anything, I want to say they won't. Because I've straight up done things where I just like sidelined a cop and took off, and they like, the AI just like didn't like figure it out to like chase me or whatever.
Great. All right.
I got out of there fast enough for something like that.
Okay.
What's weird though is the daytime, anytime you do a race, they like close off the roads and it's empty. The city's just like, there's no humans or whatever. And what's weird is like, why is the city shutting down for street racing? I thought people in the city hated street racers and they wanted to literally kill them. But they'll just like close off all these roads for a race. So that's just kind of a weird. Normally I would just be like, it's a video game, you know, they just needed like a track and they used the roads and there's no traffic, they'd close off the roads. But because this game started off with like, no, this is serious business, we're gonna kill you if you race in this city. Now there's like just this weird narrative disconnect. Anyway.
Maybe the racers are just very organized.
Yeah, but they're closing. I guess they're so organized, and the cops can't even figure it out. Also, why are the cops only out at night?
They're stealth cops.
What? What does that even mean?
They want to blend into the darkness so no one can find them.
I guess so. Batman
so they can
cops
catch you off guard. But yeah, they're Batman cops.
Yeah. This game has grinding. And that's kind of like my big upset. Why I'm like pretty much done playing it. So each time you want to get to a story mission, there will actually be like a number value on it that works similarly like to like a Destiny Light level. You can take the mission on if you want. It's just a lot harder. And I actually took on like the first story mission, or I guess like, the first one once they let you out into like the open world, before realizing about this level. So I was getting my ass kicked, and they're like, "No, you need to be in first place. Come on, let's go, first place." And I had all this terrible rubber banding, and I just couldn't do it. And I just kept hitting my head against it until I did, because I'm a good racer. I don't care what your light level is. I know how to race a car, so I can do it no matter what. It was a true underdog story, and I won.
Proud of you. When's the movie coming out?
Next year, 2020. Nice. It's a short. It's gonna be in front of Sonic.
Okay, cool. I already bought tickets.
Thank you. Good. Make sure you cheer loud for me. But they want you to like soup up your car so that you actually take on the challenges that you're supposed to with your level. To do that, though, you need to earn enough rep to buy the new parts to raise your level. So you have to kind of grind. But what's really annoying is I'm at a point where story-wise, I have all like the top tier stuff unlocked. Now I just need the next story mission to unlock. And it's like, oh, this one won't unlock until you hit like rep level 7, which basically means I just need to drive around at night and find a cop and have him chase me for X number of seconds. Because while you're being chased, you're like earning points. And then that moves on to experience, which will raise like your like bounty level. And some missions only unlock, like some story missions only unlock when your bounty level is high enough. So it's just kind of sucked, because I was like, well, I guess I'll just do all the races that are open to me, and hopefully it'll just go up organically. And it does, but it doesn't go up enough to the point where all the races I had finished, and now I just needed to drive around and hope to find a cop and have them chase me for a bit, which was just kind of a bummer. Because it's like I'm looking for trouble for like no good reason or anything like that, and it just kind of that was kind of lame. So the grinding's a bit of a bummer.
Yeah,
it looks nice though. I can say that. Oh, I don't like the soundtrack like at all. It's all like rap and hip hop, which I'm just not into.
Oh,
and there's no variation in the music. There's not like different radio stations. So it's basically, here's the soundtrack. Hope you like the soundtrack. I don't even think you can turn the soundtrack off. Maybe you can turn like the music off in the menus, but there's no way to just like turn the radio off, which is a bummer. It's strange coming to this after the Horizon series, where you don't even need to come in first in Forza Horizon on those races. You can just like keep going along, and you'll still get points and stuff to go towards, whatever tier or mission you're doing. Horizon is very much just like a go nuts, who cares? You're having fun driving the car game. And it has the whole rewind feature. It's weird playing a racing game without the rewind feature these days.
Yeah.
Which can also just be a bummer, because I feel like you should just have that at this point. Like, who cares?
Yeah. I agree.
The only time you shouldn't have that is if you're playing online. I should talk about the online. The game wants to default to being connected at online at all times, so that like other racers will show up kind of just in your world. I turned that off immediately, because what that means is I can never pause the game. My car will just keep rolling, right?
Mm-hmm.
And what really sucks about that is if let's say it's nighttime, you're in a pursuit and the cops are chasing you. What you need to do is you need to escape the cops and then find a safe house to like end the night and bank everything you leveled up, so that so the idea is like stay out later, keep doing stuff, and for the risk reward, the multiplier will go up. But I can't even open the map to like set a waypoint towards like a safe house, because the game will keep running. And the way you lose is if the cops stop your car from moving, or if you're in the vicinity of the cops and slow enough for long enough, which is a huge bummer. I actually don't even like that kind of system, because there's definitely times where it's like our vehicles were facing a completely different way because I crashed into you and I was about to drive away, but because I was just near you for long enough, I lose, even though like nothing is restraining me to the spot. I was about to just speed off. I'm not like getting pinned or anything, but I was around you for too long. I lose, which is a bummer. So, yeah, so I just turned it off, and I've been playing offline solo. So it's just like a standard Need for Speed game. which kind of sucks because I'm like missing out on this multiplayer aspect, but I just don't like that I can't pause the game. Forza lets you play always connected to people, and you can still pause the game. It just like knows it and figures it out. So Need for Speed is just like lacking a ton. I don't know why.
Did you
To be
download that
fair,
app?
I hate to say this. When's the last time Need for Speed was kind of relevant?
For sure, that's totally good point. I can't remember the last one. It's been off for years. I just hadn't played the last few of them because I didn't have EA access again. Like I guess I didn't buy this one, obviously, which says something as well.
Yeah.
But it sucks because they don't make Burnout games. They're only going to keep making Need for Speed games. What's even weirder is they took a year off for Need for Speed, and then they came back with a subpar Need for Speed game. And you think of like Assassin's Creed, they took a year off of that, and they came back with Origins, one of like the best Assassin's Creed games.
What team did this?
Ghost Games, I think, which I do believe has some Criterion people.
Ghost Games has done the last 4 Need for Speed games.
Yeah, and I do understand there is some Criterion legacy inside of Ghost Games, but what does that exactly mean? Who would that be? So I don't know.
The last one I cared about was 9 years ago. Hot Pursuit.
Oh yeah, the remake Hot Pursuit. Most Wanted remake was also really good.
Was it? I never actually played it, I don't think.
I played Most Wanted a bit. Was Hot Pursuit the one that came with the launch of the new consoles?
Pretty close. No.
Oh no, that was Rivals. That was Rivals. I think Rivals was the last one I was really into.
Okay.
Yeah, Rivals was good too. From what
that was even 6 years ago. That's still a while. So
yeah, that was the first one that Ghost Games made.
Yeah,
I see.
Hot Pursuit though, that was the one where you like played as the cops versus the cars, right? Like you would, on teams. Yeah, that was so cool.
It was fun.
Hot Pursuit was real good.
That was a lot of fun, man. I played a lot of that. I remember just being like the college dorms playing that a bunch. That was good. Okay, so that's Need for Speed Heat. I played one other game this week called Takeshi and Hiroshi. This is an Apple Arcade game. So it's presented like a claymation animation. I don't know if it's like real claymation or if it's computer animation that's made to look like claymation, but it looks like the characters are made of clay. You play as Takeshi, an older brother to your sick younger brother, who really and you make games. You're like a teen, and your younger brother, is a bit younger than you. He's like a little kid. You make games as like a hobby, and your younger brother wants to play the game you've made, but you haven't like programmed it enough yet. So you can only let him play one level a day, and there's like 7 days to this game. It's pretty short. You can probably finish it in about 2 hours. I'm on the last day myself. But it's just kind of an interesting premise. So you basically play as like the game master or the dungeon master. Your brother will be playing the game, but you have it directly linked up to your laptop, and you're like, oh, I'm gonna just do my homework over here. You keep telling your younger brother, but you're controlling which enemies your brother's gonna fight. So all of it's like a turn-based RPG. Your brother is playing the hero, so you don't control any of the fights. You just control which monsters your brother will come up against, and you have to balance your brother's health, your brother's stress, and like overall enjoyment level. So each day it'll be like, you need to get 300 enjoyment. And the way you do that is by making each fight different and unique and hard enough that your brother doesn't just like breeze through it. So you need to like put a collection of monsters out there that will do like 75% of his health by the time he beats them. If the brother loses, you have to kind of like restart that day. If the brother doesn't take enough damage, the stress meter won't go up, and the stress meter always starts at like negative 30%. So if you don't do enough damage to your brother and your brother just clears out the enemies, you'll actually take negative off of that 300 goal you need to. So you need to first get it into the positive numbers and then try and get it higher up there so that you can bank all of that enjoyment from the stress meter and try and get the goal. You have like 5 turns to do each one. Each day you'll add like a new type of monster or a new character for your brother to use that has different weapons and spells. It's a pretty like unique take on a game. I don't think I've played many games like this. I just really like the presentation of it. It has a really like I said, cutesy clay animation style, cool concept. I like the music quite a bit during the cutscenes. It gets extremely repetitive during the battles, which is what you spend a lot of your time doing. So like I've actually turned off the music and sound effects, but then I was like, oh, I'm like missing out on something when I beat that stage and got to the cutscene, so I had to turn them back on. So it's kind of a bummer that I want to go back and forth on that. The other thing I don't like too much is a lot of the fights can just be kind of random. There's a lot of RNG on how the characters can react sometimes, which does suck because I like one of the stages I had to do over and over again, and it was just like, man, I did not expect that to go the way it did, or you come in just under the numbers that you need for that goal, so you have to do the whole day again. That can kind of suck. But it's still a pretty cool concept. Like I said, it's not a very long game, probably about 2 hours max. You could probably do it in 90 minutes as well, depending on if you were struggled a bit like I did. But this is on Apple Arcade. Again, this is Takeshi and Hiroshi. So if you're looking for something kind of unique and you have Apple Arcade, I would recommend that game.
Looks
That
cute.
does sound really cool, actually.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's unlike stuff I've played before, for sure.
God, I wish I had something to play these games on. I looked this up because I wanted to see it, and it brought up a thing that's like games you should check out or whatever on Apple Arcade, and one of them is Pac-Man Party Royale, and I want to play that too now.
I don't remember hearing anything good about that game.
Battle Royale with Pac-Man, how could you lose?
There you go. Yeah, I don't. I think that, like I said, I think I said this in the past. I think the cheapest way to get in is getting like an Apple TV.
Yeah,
and then playing on there. I think that's the cheapest way to get to Apple Arcade.
Paul, what was the game you just mentioned? Pac-Man Battle Royale?
It is called, sorry, I'll look it up, Pac-Man Party Royale.
Party Royale. I was going to say Battle Royale is that arcade game.
This seems like just a 4-player, like, you're playing on a small map with ghosts and shit chasing you, and you're trying to not be the last one to die or whatever. You're trying to be the last one to die.
That's just the arcade game.
Okay.
That's just the 4-player arcade game. I'm gonna watch gameplay of this, but this looks like a super
Like
stylized version of the arcade game.
It probably is.
How about some news?
I guess so.
Oh God, we're not at news yet.
Let's do some news. There's not a lot, and they're pretty short things. There's a bit of controversy about whether or not Control's coming to Game Pass. That would be very cool if it did. More people should play Control.
Yep.
But Phil Spencer was on an Extra Life stream recently, and he straight up says, like, yeah, Control didn't get to enough people, so I'm really happy that it's coming to Game Pass and more players are going to be able to play it. Seems pretty definitive. Remedy came out and said, Control's not coming to Game Pass. We have no news or announcements regarding Xbox Game Pass at this time.
What?
So who knows? But
right.
like, it seemed pretty definitive that Phil Spencer leaked some information. I don't know. A lot of people are thinking maybe Remedy's just saying that so they don't like tank their sales at the moment, while people wait for the Game Pass version. But hey, if more people get to play Control, that would be awesome if it came to Game Pass.
Sure. Holy shit, I didn't realize these games were coming to the stuff. Sorry, the next news thing. That's dope.
Yeah, Nintendo announced...
This got announced yesterday.
Yeah, the next set of games coming to the Switch Online program, the NES and SNES games. There are 6 for the Super Nintendo. It is Star Fox 2, Super Punch-Out, Kirby Superstar, and Breath of Fire 2. And for the NES, it is Journey to...
Silius.
Silius.
I love that game.
Crystalis.
This is dope.
Crystalis, those are all good choices, honestly.
Yeah.
Those are all
this is coming December 12th.
Man, what a good update. Damn.
They're also selling the NES controllers for half off right now.
Oh.
Yeah, but I think they're still out of the SNES ones, which is the one I care about.
Yeah, maybe. Yes, SNES controllers will not be back in stock for the rest of the year. Check back in January.
Gross.
Yeah.
Dead Cells is having some DLC coming in Q1 of 2020. It'll be a $5 thing titled The Bad Seed. It's going to have like 2 new levels, a new boss, plenty of new weapons and enemies. Definitely glad to see more Dead Cells coming.
That's awesome. Yeah.
PC and consoles, obviously.
$5.
Yep, I can't wait for that.
Cool.
We talked about this a little briefly. I don't remember if it was last week or the week before, but in relation to Half-Life Alyx, it came out that a bunch of the Campo Santo studio was working on that project, and a lot of people were starting to question what happened to In the Valley of Gods. Polygon did some digging and reached out to them, and it is officially on hold as the developers work on Half-Life Alyx, Dota Underlords, and other projects. So that's a bit of a bummer. Hopefully they'll be able to get to In the Valley of Gods, but it sounds like that game is, for the time being, no one is touching that game.
Sure.
Yeah, as a fan of Firewatch, I want to see more of those specific games from them, and In the Valley of Gods was going to be another one of those.
Yeah, I'm excited for Half-Life Alyx too, though. So
I am curious to see what they will do with a Half-Life license. Yeah,
because this might actually finally be the first like killer app you need to get with VR.
Astrobot is pretty good.
I still feel like it's not gonna. That's the thing.
I
still
think?
feel like this is not gonna crush everyone.
Have you guys heard of Astrobot? Because that game is awesome. Let me tell you about Moss. That game is pretty good.
Yeah, but none of them have the Half-Life name on it, which is why I think this is the one, probably.
Sure.
Man, if only it was Half-Life 3, though. Holy shit, could you imagine? Damn.
But if Half-Life 3 was a VR game, I feel people would be very upset about that.
People would be fucking pissed.
People are already upset that Alyx is a VR game.
Yeah.
Did you want to talk more about the Mario Maker 2 update?
I mean, we didn't really describe like the specifics about it, so yeah, we can quickly go over it, I suppose.
Sure.
So besides the Legend of Zelda thing, which is like I think the big thing, they added Spike, which is the little dude you'll remember from Mario 3 that spit up spiky balls and threw them at Mario. So he's been redone even in his Mario 3 form.
He was in Mario Tennis last year?
Yeah.
Did that game come out last year?
I think that's 2 years old. Or will be.
I think it came out last year.
No, you're right. 2018's right.
Yeah. So that's cool. Pokey again. Should have been there from the start, but whatever. Frozen Coins is like the sleeper hit here for me. I think that's dope. Specifically because...
Have you seen any of them being used yet, though?
Yes.
Okay. All right. I like that they can be defrosted. I'm hoping there'll be some cool stuff.
Specifically, I've seen somebody building a level where as Link, you use your shield to push a Podobo fireball to like burn a bunch of stuff to clear your path in like a puzzle.
That is cool.
Like that. Yeah, like it's really good. I like it a lot. The only thing I wish is that you could put enemies, like small enemies, but more importantly, power-ups in there as well. But this is still fine. I really like it. And the fact that it like actually interacts with the flame stuff is really good. The P block seems like one of those like, yeah, this makes sense. Just a block that you can't get rid of that uses a P switch. Dash blocks scare me because I fucking hate speedrun levels that utilize dumb shit like that where you have to go really fast and then do something at the last minute. And that's exactly what we're going to get with that probably. And yeah, the Master Sword, which is like the most important thing ever.
And the ninja stuff, I think that's a big one too.
The ninja stuff is cool. Yeah, especially because they're Nintendo made courses.
Yeah, but they're also like speedrun specific, so I don't feel like they're just like, oh, this was a really cool course, because I'm like running through it and ignoring as much as I possibly can, you know?
Yeah. I just meant that they'll probably be like at least of a certain quality.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Like the idea is that they want you to run through it, but they also want you to explore it on some of your runs so you can try to find faster ways to get through.
And they want you to be able, like they'll be beatable. There's probably not going to be soft locks. Is like
right,
the big
yeah,
thing.
No, it'll be a solid course.
Yeah.
Maybe just because I don't want to like replay the stage over and over again.
That's fair. That's entirely fair.
I just want.
But I'm gonna be real. I didn't think this mode was for you at all, Sean. I didn't think this is gonna be anything that would interest you on that.
Yeah, I've played 100% of the stages. So there you go.
All one of them?
Yep. All one.
Got me there. Got
Yep.
me there.
I know. Yep. Next news story. Anything else from Mario?
No.
This last one, following up from months ago with all of the Riot claims of it being a toxic work environment. The lawsuit has settled, and Riot is going to be paying every female employee since 2014 that did not take a payout.
Right.
That's a key thing that kind of came out right afterwards. With a $10 million fund. So not every person's getting $10 million. It's split up between kind of your status at the company, your length of time with the company, stuff like that.
Yeah.
But it was determined that women at the company were not getting paid the same way or getting the same kind of advancements and opportunities as the men were in that company. So they're getting a huge sellout. One thing that was kind of interesting in this Kotaku article I was reading is that several of the names that were called out as these men were making it toxic, these men were abusers.
Yeah.
They're not being let go. They're still with the company. So you have to kind of keep in mind that Riot's decision here. I'll just read kind of the quote. I'll just read this last paragraph from the Kotaku article.
Okay.
Said one employee, "It's great that Riot has decided to compensate women for the abuse they suffered here, but their rhetoric about healing and moving on leaves something to be desired." She continued, "It's difficult to heal and move on when we are when we are faced with the reality that at the end of the day, Riot prefers to pay the women still here for the trouble of continuing to work with alleged abusers."
Yeah.
Basically saying
that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, here's the money as the apology, but you still have to work with this person.
Now go back into the room with this guy. Yeah, I know.
Exactly.
It's
This
fucking
person's
weird.
still here. He's been called out by names. These multiple senior male employees named in the lawsuit. We're not going to let go of them. We're just going to give you a bunch of money in an apology. I guess it's better than nothing, but
still sucks.
Yeah. The thing is I don't actually know how you even fix that.
I don't think you can.
I don't think you can either.
You fire those men.
Yes.
For one. That's a definite.
Mm-hmm.
And then obviously the compensation is nice, considering clearly a ton of these women were not getting the career growth that they should have, especially when compared to the men in the exact same field and office. I think you should definitely be getting rid of these dudes. The fact that they can they are naming names and that they came up in the lawsuit. The article doesn't have any of these names. Not that it's important at the moment.
Not that it should, really.
Yeah, that would just be asking for people to attack these guys. Yeah, it's a weird, sketchy thing, but I guess it's at least a step in the right direction.
The game industry's had this issue for a long time. It's not going to be just a quick snap your fingers and it's done. So no. I'm honestly not surprised that Riot went the money and that's it path.
Yeah, because that's what they can afford. They have money, they can give it away. So,
well, the way I read into it is, yes, we messed up, but these guys make us a lot of money, so we're not going to say goodbye to them.
Totally, that's 100% it.
Yeah, I'm not going to deny that.
I mean, maybe some of them are even Mr. Riot, the dude who runs it, that you
could also be that. I don't know who it is.
Are they publicly traded? Because at that point, maybe the stockholders should be saying
I don't know,
something.
but they're owned by Tencent. Tencent's, I think, their major holder.
Oh, that's a whole different ball of wax. I don't think we should get into.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know the answer to that.
No.
Okay. All right, that's it for news. Oh no, you have some free games.
Yeah, games. For Game Pass, Halo Reach, My Friend Pedro, Farming Simulator 17, Feria, Europa Universalis 4, and Demon's Tilt, which looks like a pretty dope pinball game I'm going to try out, actually, on PC. Demon's Tilt. Yeah. And Epic Jotun Valhalla Edition is the free game this week.
All right, let's do some questions. If you want to send in questions, it is topdownperspective@gmail.com, at TDP Podcast on Twitter, the Discord channel, or John's P.O. Box.
Oh my god, is this Demon's Tilt just a sequel to Demon's Crush?
Maybe.
I don't know.
It looks like a spiritual successor. That's amazing.
That's pretty good.
Hebrew Lantern writes in and says, "Where is the weirdest place you've ever fallen asleep?"
Bathroom.
Upside down in a car.
Yeah, that's weird. How do you do it in a bathroom, man?
You just fall asleep.
Like on the toilet?
Well, after drinking and being on the ground.
Well, yeah.
After puking.
Oh wait, are you like just like laying in the tub?
No, like puking in the toilet after a long night drinking and then falling asleep right beside it.
Sure. Yep. Okay. I don't know. Like class, is that super weird?
No.
Like most of my classes, I probably fell asleep at one point. Definitely in college. I don't think I had a single class I did not fall asleep in college.
I hate that feeling, waking up in class. Oh, I hate that.
Oh, I once was in the first row of like one of my lectures, and the three of us all fell asleep. That we're all sitting together. We all were sat in front of the professor's podium. All of us.
Oh man!
And he just let the three of us sleep, and then he just once one of us woke up, he kind of gave us crap. But yeah,
I always fell asleep in art history because it was in the comfy chairs, and yeah, it's boring at 7 a.m. Just
at some point, like you just kind of like slump down in your chair and you just get comfortable, and it's boring, and you just fall asleep. Like I said, I've fallen asleep in almost every one of my classes, if not all of them, in college.
Yep.
Not every day, of course, but like at least once during the semester.
Never mind. I do have an actual answer for the worst place I've fallen asleep. In the sound booth for our church while I was running it.
That's pretty good.
All right.
That's pretty bad.
Yeah.
I was, because they gave you like a super nice plush chair, and then like you don't have to touch the soundboard for a while because while they're doing the music, and then suddenly when the pastor walks up to do a sermon, his mic's not working because you cut it earlier and then you fell asleep. So
did you get like a bunch of sound effects you could just play?
No. Thankfully they didn't do that. There was like a hotline that someone could call to buzz me in case they needed any like monitors raised or like any other microphones live.
Right on.
Rasterman7 says, so do you guys prefer a TV series with a very good couple of seasons but bad ending and final season overall? Or the exact same scenario, but the final season got canceled and no concept of it was ever released? So we'll answer that first. He has kind of a follow-up to it as well.
So do we want a TV series with a couple good seasons but a bad ending, or a couple good seasons but no ending?
How do we feel about Game of Thrones here?
No,
I was okay with the ending.
You were? Interesting. Okay.
I was okay with the ending, but I also didn't read any of the books.
I want a bad ending because
I want a bad ending as well.
The way Firefly ended makes me sad every time I think about it.
See, here's the problem. My problem is this prompt brings up Dexter to me.
Okay.
Where everyone said the ending was so bad it like ruined the rest of the show and it wasn't worth watching.
You know, I never finished Dexter. I stopped at season 4 or 5.
I know one person who finished it. Yeah, after the one season with like John Lithgow where he was like amazing, and then apparently like it went super downhill after that, and it's just like apparently it was just so bad. And I'm just like, okay.
So I think of Lost.
I think I'd be okay with there being no ending. Couple good seasons and then just no ending, because then nothing can be ruined.
No way. I can't. I need some kind of conclusion, even if it's like a bad conclusion, like some kind of closure.
But bad closure just leaves a bad taste in your mouth. I'm like, this sucks.
Well, because when most shows are made, the first season is like contained because they don't know if they're going to get a second one.
Yeah.
If they get renewed, it's usually like, okay, we got something here. So then a lot of the season finales begin to be like cliffhangers, which sucks because then you have like a reboot ending on a cliffhanger because it is canceled and whatnot. the idea of like Lost ending before its last season would have been like insanity. Like people would have gone insane. That would have sucked. And even though like me aside, a lot of people don't like that last season. I think it's fine. I kind of look at the show as a whole. Having some kind of closure was like I need that personally, man.
Dude, Lost was never going to end in a way that was going to make everybody happy. There wasn't any fucking way.
That's also true.
Now, if I'm talking about Scrubs, my favorite TV show, that should have ended a season ahead of time before. And I don't know if I would like that last season sucks. But it's weird because that show like basically ended and they were like, let's start a new show inside this show. And that was weird.
I think I need an ending. But yeah, I don't know.
I just think like I said with Dexter, it was just an ending that just ruins the rest of the show. Like it brings the show down. I just don't want it. I'd rather leave it up in the air.
It's a little weird too because I'm the guy that usually gets to a show about a year after everybody else, or like maybe longer. So like knowing that Dexter has a bad finale, I'm never just gonna finish it at this point. So to me, it doesn't have an ending. But like,
wait, you said you need to have an ending, so you would watch to the end.
But I mean, the ending I have now apparently is fine because like I can just leave it up in the air as to what happens, and I don't have to see the bullshit that
so you
everyone
don't
else
need
complains
an ending.
about. I guess I don't. Yeah, especially if I know it's going to be terrible.
Well, in this scenario, it kind of sounds like you do know, like you're choosing. It's going to have the bad ending, or it's going to end.
Yeah.
With no closure, but it never got bad. That's like this is the two options you're picking. And it sounds like you've switched to no closure.
If I know for sure, then yeah, because what bugs me is that I don't know how Firefly ends. But if I knew that, like, okay, you're going to get another season, but fuck, does it suck? I don't want it. So yeah, it depends if I like know for sure. If I don't know, then I always want to know at least. You know?
And I'm the opposite. I want some kind of closure, even if it's bad. Like I think of How I Met Your Mother. That show should have ended a few seasons before it did, because those seasons were getting bad. But like I did get an ending, so I'm happy that I know what happened to those characters. Because if they had just like canceled the show, it would have been like, now I'm never gonna get to know how you met your mother.
I guess another thing we're kind of skipping around here is some of us are comparing shows that don't have an overarching like mystery versus those that do. Like you brought up Lost and How I Met Your Mother. Those are the perfect examples of shows that need endings. Otherwise, the question never gets answered, and the whole series is kind of pointless.
Okay, sure, yeah, that's a good point. You're thinking like if The Simpsons like just ended?
It should have.
Yeah. Wow. All right. Hot take.
Yeah.
Hottest take.
I watched a new episode of The Simpsons last year, and I was just like, "Oh my god, this has no
okay."
heart.
Well, let's talk about like sitcoms then.
Okay.
And I guess How I Met Your Mother is like an interesting one because it kind of has like an arc. But I feel
Sure.
like even in that case, you still have like a connection to these characters. You do want to see some kind of closure for them. Like I'll go back to Scrubs again. It doesn't have this overarching like, what is the answer at the end of the whole thing? But if they had just ended it, that would have been kind of a bummer. I would have liked to have seen them do like a goodbye episode. Like I do enjoy when they make like a goodbye episode, you know? I guess I just like the goodbye episode.
Okay.
That's fair.
Yeah. How do you feel about how, like, do you guys care about Seinfeld at all? Or is this like just going to be a question that, okay.
When they all go to prison?
Yeah, they're just like, so like as far as we know, they're just in prison forever because that's the ending. Unless you watch like, well,
didn't Jerry himself, or was it Larry David, say that like they hated that ending? One of them said that.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure one of them did. Like, how could you not? I'm sure they wanted to do something else, and they kind of did with like Curb Your Enthusiasm, but like not really because it's meta. Like, I don't know. It's hard to explain.
I mean, I personally like that there was some kind of like, this is a finale. We are filming this as a finale. We are putting this out as like a goodbye. If it had just ended, I need the closure myself.
Okay,
that's fair.
Do you need a closure for like The Simpsons specifically? Because that's so like every week is a different wacky tale of these characters that never age. Like,
Sure.
I feel like we're also walking the cartoons at that
yeah,
point too. In cartoons, you can get away with more. Like I'm okay
I
with
mentioned reboot.
Family Guy not having an ending.
Okay, well, let's talk about like a good cartoon.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. Reboot. Reboot ends on a cliffhanger.
Yeah.
It ends on a cliffhanger a couple times actually.
I mean, so did like Futurama, and it kept coming back, right?
Yeah.
So if we're talking about a show, so you mentioned Simpsons because like there's less attachment to the characters, I guess.
it's just a weekly like this is a wacky thing that happened in Springfield this week, right? Where like there's not kind of an overarching thing necessarily.
Right. I mean, I'm not a huge Simpsons fan, so I personally would not care if it just ended. But if I was like watching it every week, I think I would appreciate a goodbye episode because it
Sure,
would be a
okay.
bit different. They would narratively it would be a little different than your typical one because there'd be some kind of finality into it. There'd become some kind of like, thank you, Homer, as Ned shakes his hand. Like, you know what I mean? There'd be some kind of goodbye.
Bart finally goes to jail.
Good. Sideshow Bob finally gets Bart.
Oh my god. Oh, that would feel so good to see, honestly. I always thought Sideshow Bob was like a lunatic until I got older and realized that he got fucked over. No, he got fucked over by that dumb little kid.
But he also did commit a crime. He framed someone for a robbery.
Yeah. I mean,
Still
Krusty
deserves
sucks.
to be in jail.
His feet are really big.
Exactly.
His feet are very big.
And thus he must be in jail.
So he has a second part to this question. As a bonus, does the same apply to video games, meaning a game series with a couple smashing hits, a really bad one, or one that a game had never launched? This is different for me for video games just because of the time commitment you have to put into it and the effort you need to put into it. So for me, I would just rather not release like an ending that like, I don't know. I don't care as much, I guess. If a game series never like wraps up, unless they have like, so there are exceptions to this where like they program in the like Gears of War is one of these things where like they program in at the very end like a tie into the next one or whatever, a continuation.
Like they're setting up a trilogy.
Yeah, so then like for those, it's the reason why Halo did so well, right? With the Finish the Fight campaign for Halo 3 and all that, because people needed to know what happened.
Yeah, but people were also mad about how Halo 2 ended, so
yeah.
Like not many games ended on a cliffhanger back then.
Yeah, no, for sure. So if it's like those cases where a game is basically split into two to continue the story, then I guess you have to. Otherwise, I don't know, man. It's weird. Video games for me.
What about weird cases like Shenmue? Because Shenmue 3 is not the end of the Shenmue storyline.
Yeah. The thing is that like I still value my time more. Like it's easy to just be like, okay, like I don't care about this last season of Dexter. I'm not going to waste like 40 hours in it. It's kind of the same with a video game. Like I'm not going to waste like 20 hours playing a video game just to get an ending.
This one's hard because first off, games will be quite different in terms of like if they stopped making Mario games, I would not say I have a lack of closure. You know what I mean? Every Mario game kind of has an end to it, and they also don't like sit on like a timeline.
Right.
If they put out 3 out of the 5 episodes of Life is Strange and then stopped doing it, I would want a shitty ending put out there. Like I would want some closure for that.
In that case, I would feel like the game's not out because like 3 out of 5 episodes means that you didn't release a full game. You released half of it. The full game would have been 5 out of 5 episodes. So they failed.
I mean, that was just an example. Like I could have said, they put out 2 of the 3 Mass Effects and then they didn't. They canceled it before Mass Effect 3. I would have wanted them to put out a bad Mass Effect 3 so I could get some closure, because that's also pretty narratively heavy. I was just picking like a narratively strong game when I said Life is Strange. So I guess going back to Mass Effect though, like, if you had known Andromeda would be bad, would you still want it to come out?
No. But then
It's
again,
more Mass Effect though.
Yeah, but I got an ending.
Right, you got your ending for sure. But now they're saying, hey, we'll make you more Mass Effect, but it will be bad Mass Effect. Would you take any Mass Effect you can get?
What's with this monkey paw wish we're making now?
And like this sounds
that's the whole scenario.
This
right?
is a lose-lose though. Like, I have my ending. Why would I want you to make a new one that's bad? Like, I don't gain anything out of that.
Well, so you're looking at it as a glass half empty. The glass half full is, this is a chance for me to have more Mass Effect.
Yeah, but if it's bad, who gives a fuck?
Because it's better than no Mass Effect.
That's not true. Nope. A bad version of something. Trust me, I've been playing Mario Maker. A bad something, it is just because you have it doesn't mean that.
That's a good point. Yeah. That's a good point. Like, sometimes less is more, for sure.
Mm.
Yeah, this one's weird. I guess because like the narratives usually aren't as strong as a TV show.
Right.
It's hard for me to have such a definitive position.
Right. Because games are usually pretty expensive, take a lot of people to make, so they don't usually write with cliffhangers, honestly, unless it's like one of those too big to fail games.
Yeah.
John, do you want to take this next one about you?
Sure. Next one comes from Suku saying, it's John's turn. Favorite games of each console. I take it you guys had this last week or something?
This was a revisit, yeah. Somebody...
Yeah, you and I had this a long time ago, and they just asked it again with the updated consoles and stuff. Paul, this was before Paul, so he got to say all of his.
All right, so are we talking like each console's in everything that came out, or each console's in the... Oh my god, all right.
You can scroll down and see the question from last week.
I didn't pull that part, though, what he said.
Oh, you didn't? Okay, then you cannot. I guess only mine's down there.
I'll scroll back up then. Okay. I'll just go through my backloggery, I guess. NES would probably be Ninja Gaiden or River City Ransom. Super Nintendo, probably Chrono Trigger.
Okay.
Genesis is Gunstar Heroes.
Yep.
Game Boy is probably Donkey Kong 94.
Okay.
That or Wario Land.
Okay.
I'm skipping like the weird obscure stuff like Sega CD. I'm just going for like notable guys.
If I remember correctly, you did answer for like Virtual Boy.
Oh my god. Well, Virtual Boy Wario Land, so that's an easy one.
I think that's what your answer was, yeah.
Saturn is probably Die Hard Arcade. PlayStation 1. God, what is my favorite? Probably Castlevania Symphony of the Night. PlayStation 2 is Devil May Cry 3.
That's what mine was.
Nice.
N64 is probably Perfect Dark.
I think that's what Paul's was, right?
That's what mine was, yep.
Dreamcast is Power Stone 2. Game Boy Advance is Ninja 5-0. Or no, Castlevania Aria of Sorrow. Never mind. Rewinding that one. GameCube. Probably Melee.
Yeah,
probably Melee.
Mm-hmm.
It's definitely the one I put the most time into.
Yep.
Where are we on here? Original Xbox, Ninja Gaiden Black.
Yep. That's what you said
last time. DS, probably Ghost Trick.
Yep. We also took a pause there just to say how great the DS's library is.
Of course. Xbox 360, probably Gears of War 2.
Okay.
I can't really think of what else stands out in the
Burnout
360.
Paradise.
You know what? That's an excellent choice as well. And even Burnout Revenge too. I like Revenge
just
more than
Burnout
Paradise. I like Revenge more, sorry. PS3.
Burnout Paradise.
Gonna make it stick one of these days. Batman Arkham Asylum.
That's what you said the last time too.
Are you going off the list of what I have here? That's ridiculous.
I'm looking. Do you want some answers quickly?
I'm
What you
curious.
said before?
Say some systems that I haven't. Some systems I haven't said. Then I can go back and say now.
PSP.
Well, you have to say them first, John. I don't want Paul to influence you.
No,
Yeah.
I'm saying like say a system I haven't listed, and then I can go back and do
PSP.
it. Or have I? PSP. Shit. Ooh, I actually don't know on that. Probably Luminous.
That's what you said last
You can
time.
also say a UMD movie if you want.
That's true. There you go. Stealth.
Mm-hmm. TurboGrafx 16.
TurboGrafx 16. I probably would have said. Ooh, am I counting Turbo CD though? So I'm saying Turbo CD. Now it's gonna be Lords of Thunder. But if it's Turbo 16 by itself,
It's probably by itself.
I'm gonna say Die Hard because I played that Japanese exclusive Die Hard game and it's pretty good.
You said Gunstar Heroes.
For TurboGrafx 16, it's not on that.
That's what he has
Take
here.
it up with past John.
No, take it up with whoever put this list out for us.
Yeah, that's literally not a thing that exists. All right.
Yeah, so you probably didn't answer. What about Game Gear?
Wow, I had an answer for Game Gear.
Apparently.
See, the problem is, knowing me, I probably said Ren and Stimpy: The Quest for the Shaven Yak. But the answer would probably be like Game Gear Shinobi.
Streets of Rage.
I have not played the Game Gear Streets of Rage, so that's weird.
Interesting. Okay, NES, you said River City Ransom. SNES, you said Kirby Superstar. N64, you said Mario Party 2.
Wow. Yeah, I guess I could kind of see that one.
PlayStation 1, you said Metal Gear Solid.
That's also a fair flip, yeah.
PS2, you said God Hand.
That's also, I was 50-50 on saying God Hand or Devil May Cry 3, so that's fair.
360, you said Dead Rising.
Ooh, Dead Rising 1?
Yeah. That would have been good for you, yeah.
That doesn't hold up as well, though, I feel now. But yeah, no, that's
this is definitely cool to like revisit.
That's a respectable answer, though.
Mm-hmm. Did you answer Wii right now? Because you had an answer
I have not
for the
said
Wii.
Wii. I'm literally going up in order on my backloggery, so Wii was like one of the next
last.
ones here.
Uh-huh.
Wii would probably be either No More Heroes or Galaxy 2.
Okay.
I'll probably say No More Heroes.
Okay. Back then, you said Rabbids Go Home.
What? That can't be me. What? No, there's no fucking way.
You know what? That actually sounds like a Nathan answer.
That
sounds like a Nathan answer.
I wonder if this
kinda
person's maybe heard Nathan or put Nathan's answers down, because I remember he was in. I think he was in some of the Rabbids games.
Okay.
Some of those don't. I like Rabbids Go Home, but I would not have said it's the best Wii game.
DS, you said Mario Kart.
But you know what?
DS.
But Nathan wouldn't have said like God Hand for PS2. I don't think.
Yeah, no, that's definitely me.
Yeah. So I don't know.
Weird.
Mario Kart DS, you said for DS back then, and GameCube Melee probably is what you said apparently.
I like if there's the word probably is there, then that's definitely me who said that.
Dreamcast, you said Space Channel 5. Virtual Boy, you said Wario Land. And
wow, Space Channel 5, I could respect that too.
So the ones we added are Wii U.
Wii U. Oof.
You can say Game and Wario. It's okay.
I might actually, because I literally can't remember what else. The 3D World, Super Mario 3D World.
No, you can go back to Game and Wario. That was fine.
I could also say Bayonetta 2, to be fair.
That's true.
We added 3DS specifically.
Wow. For as much as I played my 3DS, I don't know if I could name a game I would consider my favorite. I'm gonna cheat and look at what I even own.
Picross, 3D Picross round 2.
I mean, that's like the cop-out answer, I think. There's gotta be like looking at the 3DS games I have that I spent the most time playing. It's Dead or Alive Dimensions, but I definitely wouldn't say that's my favorite 3DS game.
Wow. You
Yeah.
can just play like A Link Between Worlds. That game is good too.
That was good. I actually did like that. I also like Kid Icarus Uprising. That was also really good.
All right, that game. Yeah, and you got all the cards and stuff too.
Yeah, you know what? I actually might give it to that because I'm scrolling through right now. Mario Kart 7 was good. Oh man, remember Metal Gear Solid Snake Eater 3D?
Yeah. Yeah.
I do now.
Project Cross Zone. Wow, there's a lot of actually decent stuff on here. Yeah, I actually might give it to that game. I literally forgot what I was going to say. What it was.
Kid Icarus.
Thank you. I'm probably going to say Kid Icarus Uprising.
Okay. I didn't have an answer for Xbox One because I don't own one, but Xbox One is one as well that we added.
All right, I can answer that. Oh man, shit! But Theatrhythm was also on 3DS. Damn it. Xbox One would probably be Gears 5 if I'd actually played it. So Gears 4.
Nice. And PS4. Oh, we added Switch too, which was really hard.
Yeah, that's fair.
But
Did we do Vita?
I don't think we did Vita. No.
Oh, okay.
Did you? What was my answer for PS3?
I can tell you in 2 seconds here. PS3.
Because I just said Batman Arkham Asylum.
Oh yeah, no, it was at Batman.
Was that? Oh, nice.
Yeah, and around the time apparently that this came out, it would have been that one. So.
Okay. PS4 would be Persona 5 because that's definitely the one that I put the most time into on the PS. No, that's a lie because it's Yakuza 0.
Okay.
Yakuza 0.
And Switch.
Ugh.
Yeah. That's an ongoing process, so that one's hard.
That is an ongoing process, and that's the system that I've kind of been buying a lot of games for. Odyssey, maybe?
That's what I said as well.
Yeah, thinking back on the games I put the most time into on the Switch that aren't just Picross.
Zelda.
I did like Breath of the Wild, but I liked Odyssey more. Odyssey's more my speed, and it's like one of my favorite 3D Marios I've done in a long time. So I am probably going to stand by Mario Odyssey.
And we kind of added Game Boy Color, but not really. We brought it up, and then we're just like, oh, there's nothing really different. And I said Link's Awakening DX. And then he said the Oracle games. So we kind of brought it up, but not really.
Fair. I'll probably also reiterate the Oracle games.
Let's do Vita real quick.
Oh, no. Pokemon Pinball. No, Pokemon Pinball's my answer for Game Boy Color.
Oh.
I'm going to do Virtual's Last Reward as my answer for the Vita.
I've never owned a Vita, so I guess I just don't have an answer.
Earth Defense Force 2 Invaders from Planet Space.
But the default will be Persona 4, because that's what I would have bought a Vita for Golden.
All right, next question. We got to wrap this show up. Dead in Sky. Speaking of John, he recently brought up how Kids on Site, a Sega CD game, has a speedrun category called Doug Percent. In this category, you must complete the game while having someone named Doug with you. Can you think of any dumber ideas for speedrunning challenge categories?
That is a true story. That is actually on speedrun.com right now. My buddy Scoot did that. He brought his buddy Doug with him and did a speedrun like that. He also created, I think it was Cosplay Percent, where he did a Sailor Moon speedrun, and you have to be dressed as one of the Sailor Scouts.
I don't have an answer for this, but these are all great.
Yeah, so those are probably my answers.
Apparently there's a Dank Percent for Ocarina of
Dank
Time.
percent, so just being like really just fucking
Yeah,
eat it up.
the goal is simple: do Ocarina of Time or Ocarina items with a burning Deku stick, so that looks like you're smoking a monster blunt.
That's great. That's very
That is
funny.
pretty good, actually.
That is very funny. I think that wins.
That's pretty good.
All right, Paul, you're next.
Oh yeah, okay. VGC Kenny, heaven forbid, if Nintendo were to shut down, what other companies would you give their IPs to?
No one.
I don't know the answer to this, honestly.
I don't think there's many studios I would trust with the majority of their IPs.
I feel like there's a pretty good relationship at this point with Ubisoft.
They would probably be, yeah, but I don't trust Ubisoft with some of those.
I like Mario and Rabbids a lot. They put Star Fox into that space thing, and apparently the Star Fox part was okay.
Apparently that was the best part, is what everyone told me.
Yeah.
Let them die at that
Starlink.
point, to be honest. I kind of agree.
I would like to see the Forza Horizon devs do F-Zero.
That'd be cool.
That'd
What about
be
the
cool.
Wipeout devs?
Also them.
Yeah, that'd
But
be
I feel
cool.
like that's already Wipeout.
Or Red Out now? Because I think Wipeout's like done, or the studio was closed or something.
Something like that.
Who would you give Pokemon to? See, I think Ubisoft could do something cool and actually like open world, like where Pokemon probably should have gone to by this point.
Yeah. I think
Ubisoft
that's one
knows
of the
open
times
world
I would
games,
probably
man.
give Ubisoft.
Oh, I would obviously give Mario to Konami.
So it would never
Easily.
be used
So it would turn
again.
into a pachinko machine.
Yeah, exactly.
In the chat, someone says like Atlas. I think Fire Emblem should go to Atlas.
That'd
Yeah.
be cool. Yep.
And they have the relationship.
I could
with,
see
Tokyo
Capcom having
Mirage.
a couple. I could see Capcom actually having like the Mario license.
Capcom made some good Zelda games,
Yeah.
so they could probably continue with that.
Actually, yeah, Capcom could probably take a good majority of them, honestly.
I also think Ubisoft could do some great Zelda stuff as well.
Yep. That's
Well,
true.
I want to see how Gods and Monsters is before I give them that much credit, but yeah.
Yeah, fair.
Trying to think about some of their other first parties.
Metroid
Who would you give Animal Crossing to?
and Animal Crossing.
The devs for fuck, what's that farming game? That's like Harvest Moon.
Oh, you mean Stardew Valley?
Thank you, Stardew Valley. I'll give it to Stardew Valley devs.
I originally thought Harvest Moon, but I was like, nah, do Stardew Valley. That'd be cool.
Mm-hmm.
What did you say a second ago, Paul, for IP?
Metroid.
That's a good answer. Who do you give Metroid to?
Oof.
Someone who's good with Castlevania, right?
Yeah, so probably either the Bloodstained devs or Inti Creates. Give them to Inti Creates.
Yeah, that'd be pretty good, actually. Okay. I think that's good.
Yeah, I think we've answered a lot of one on that one.
All right.
Yep.
All right. Yogurt Sapien says, does anybody have any experience with the Switch Bluetooth audio dongles for Bluetooth headphones? Not at all.
Nope.
Kevin writes, what game is the most fun to run around in? I'm going to give it to Crackdown.
Yeah, I would say Saints Row 4.
Or if it counts as running around, I mean, I had a lot of fun just driving around in Burnout Paradise.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Sean and but just a slightly different direction. Say Saints Row 4.
Yeah, basically the same thing. Yep.
Basically. the same
Follow-up
game.
question: what games have the most crazy, awesome action music?
Crazy awesome action music.
Bayonetta and Devil May Cry kind of always get me pumped for a fight.
Similar. I was going to say Metal Gear Rising.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
That one's very good.
Basically platinum.
Yep. It's true.
Yeah, Bayonetta it sticks out to me quite a bit for sure.
Yep. Final question from Gutane Clan. How does everyone balance not overspending / overextending themselves when it comes to collecting? I know the easy answer is to set a budget, but when so many titles are released monthly, is it just self-control?
Eventually you get to a point where you realize you cannot own everything.
Yeah,
Or
like
you
I don't
can,
have
or
enough
you
space in my
cannot.
apartment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I definitely got to a point where it's like, I could take this free action figure home from the office, but it's just I don't have anywhere to put it. I have
Like,
literally nowhere to put it.
despite all this collection stuff you see in the background, I will still go to cons and be like, I don't have this game, but I don't want it yet, so I won't pick it up.
Yeah.
Like I'm missing a lot
But
of
you will
SNES games.
whisper to it and tell it you'll be back.
Wait, later.
Yeah. You'll be mine.
Next
You'll be mine
time.
one day.
So
Wait
yeah,
for me.
it's just eventually you just kind of learn. It's partially budgeting yourself. Like I have X amount of money I can spend on games every month off of a paycheck.
Yeah.
And that's just assuming there's no emergencies or anything that change things.
You're such a weird niche person for this though, because your job is predicated on collecting.
See, that's the thing. That's why I can still keep justify.
Like you're opening up the museum in a few years.
Good God.
So like,
but also like new games, like I feel most of the new games, unless I'm absolutely excited for it, I can wait till they're on sale.
Yeah. So the thing, go ahead.
I was gonna say I went to Shoppers Drug Mart today, and they had a bunch of games for PS4 and Xbox One on sale for like 50 or 60% off, and I also had another $70 off on top of that.
Wow.
So I just picked up a bunch. Yeah.
Wow, that's really good.
Buying games at the pharmacy.
Well, I was there for the
That's
PO
thrifty.
box. I was just like, yeah, like yeah, oh yeah. There's another thing too. Just find places where you can save. There's a lot of places where you can just like save money when you're buying stuff. So
True. So it sounds like when he says so many titles are released monthly, it sounds like he's probably talking about stuff that's like to be part of the zeitgeist. One thing
to
to
like, keep up.
One thing to help
pick
with
and choose
this
your battles on that one.
is start ignoring social media and the hype train more, because you realize you don't want things as much as like people make you think you want it. It's hard to explain, but like if you don't hear people saying how awesome this game is, you're not going to think about it unless you really want it. So you're going to save a little bit there. If you can PC game at all, there are sales like all the fucking time, all the time, if you know where to look. And for Steam specifically, like during the Christmas time now, during the winter sale, you'll get a bunch of good stuff. So waiting is a big part of it. And to help with that, make a promise to yourself that you're going to buy a game and then you're not going to buy another one until you finish that game, and you'll realize that you don't have enough time to buy them. You don't have enough time to play them all.
Yeah, I think that last one's pretty key, is just like make sure you actually are going to play it, not that you just like want the game. Because if you're not going to get to it right away, then there's no point picking it up right away, and there's a good chance it will go on sale after a couple weeks.
No.
Unless it's made by Nintendo. Yeah, but any other company, likely it will be half off in a month or two.
Right.
Yeah.
And also like kind of adding on to the PC sales thing, even down here in the States, like it's pretty easy to get discounts on games like through Amazon and stuff. I can't remember the last time I paid like a full 60 for like a brand new game. Like somewhere always is trying to outsell the other one. Like Walmart, for example, I keep wishing there was a Walmart near me, because for whatever reason, they're selling like every new game $10 off. Every time a new game comes out, is $10 off. I don't know why, but they just decided to do that. So you can definitely save on like everything for the most part. Start a Patreon where you say you'll talk about a game every month if they give you money. That's 12 games a year right there. That's worked out for me.
It's also like a responsibility that you take upon yourself to play a game that maybe you realize you don't like after an hour, and you're like, oh fuck.
Right. Yeah, that can backfire, and it has. See our Sonic Adventure 2 or Adventure 1, whatever it was.
Yeah, no, Adventure 2. It was Adventure 2 because none of us finished it.
Yeah, no. Yeah. But yeah, no, I think the key one is just make sure you're going to play them and not just collect them. Try and finish your games before you start the next one.
Or if you're going to collect them, justify it.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah, like if you know you're starting a museum and you're like, this will be an investment for the museum, I'll get lots of customers because they want to see this game. Then you buy the expensive, rare game.
Yep.
All right, that's going to do it for questions. If you want to send in questions for next week, it is topdownperspective@gmail.com. at TDP Podcast on Twitter, the Discord channel, or John's P.O. Box. What's your game of the week?
Sekiro.
Blaster Master Zero 2.
I'm going to give it to Outer Worlds because I'm almost done.
Nice.
All right, we have some stuff coming up in the next couple weeks and month. Fight and Rage won our TDP poll, so that's what we're going to be playing through in December and talking about near the end of the month. So check back later for that. Thanks everyone who voted. Next week, Thursday, December 12th, is the Video Game Awards.
Yep.
Paul and I are going to be talking over them and broadcasting them. So if you want to watch it with us, come do that. John, you're welcome. I don't know if you knew we were going to do that, but
What day is this?
That's Thursday.
A week from now.
So if you're free and you want to watch the Game Awards with us, come join us.
I'll think about it, but I forget how long the Game Awards is now. 4 hours?
I want to say
3 to 4
at most.
Yeah. They're somewhere in there.
There's better things I can do with my life during that time frame, I feel.
That's fair. Totally. So that starts at 5:30 Pacific. I'll be starting at that time. And then Sean, whenever you get home, you can join in unless you're home or whatever.
We'll do. And for those who can't watch live with us, we will be recording ourselves so you can director commentary, play it later on a YouTube.
Are we doing the podcast after it's done?
I guess, depending on how late it goes. We'll talk about that later and figure it out. As I mentioned earlier in the show, we have our Community Game of the Year survey going. There's links in the Discord, there's links on Twitter. But if you want to vote on what your favorite, least favorite, best audio, blah, blah, blah games are, please do so. We'll tally up all the votes and discuss them during our Game of the Year show at the end of the year. And again, the Patreon, you have a specific poll as well. If you're a Patreon subscriber, you should be doing both because there's the Patreon one and there's also the community one, and they have separate questions. So check out the Patreon for the specific one there. All right, that's it. We can go to bed.
All right.
Woo. All right, see you guys next week.
But okay.
Bye.